And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your Precision Racing League's American PS4 Project Cars 2 GT3 Championship Series. I am your host for this evening, Hootius. Out there in Twitch land, you know me as Old Man Hoot. Alright, boys, we had a week off. Everybody rested up. Now it's time to shake the dust off, get back into the groove, and do a little bit of, not full-fledged night racing, but some evening racing where we're going to have the headlights on here at Zolder. It's been 2 seasons since this league has been to Zolder. Last time we were here, it was in ProjCars2, where maybe a certain handsome broadcaster driving a fake Porsche may have won the race. So the pressure is on to all our real Porsche drivers tonight, whether they know it or not. Alright, and I want to send out a special thank you. So, as always, we were talking about this is the season for the drivers by the drivers when it came to track selection. So, unfortunately, well, there's a big shout out to the Great C81. He sponsored, he picked Zolder. And unfortunately, scheduling conflicts have happened. Great C is no longer part of the league. He is going to be part of the PRL. He is going to be racing on PC on different nights, but unfortunately, we're not going to see him in that hot, blue Mercedes Hot Wheels that I just fell in love with. So, big shout out to Great C. Thank him so much for his support to the PRL, and we wish him the best of luck out there in PC Master Race land. So normally, we'd take the guy who sponsored the race to do a track tour. So what we're going to do now is hop on with our points leader, Chops. He's going to take us around Zolder. So as you come down the pit stretch here, your front stretch, you can get it up pretty decent into a really wicked, tricky left-hander. So you go down a short stretch, a winding right for turn number 2. It's going to be almost a double apex, an extended double apex, if you will, into turn number 3. This is where you can destroy your left side tires if you're not careful. All right, a little bit on the brake, a fast right-hander right here for turn number 4. Now this is where it's going to get fun. Intermediate stretch. You are flooring it, you are on it, and right about here, on the brakes at the 100-meter mark, here's your first chicane. You want to be up on the curbs. Attack it hard to be fast, but attack it too much, and you will spin. That car will hop in the air. You have a curved straight, but it's flat out until right here. You get on your braking zone when it's still a little bit bendy. Chicane number 2. This one's a little bit wider, not as tight as the other one. You still want to hug it really close to those curbs, though. Then you have another double right-hander. Speed out of that second right-hander right there is crucial because you are flooring it once again for another short shoot. Again, here by the end of the wall, you're going to get on the brakes hard. You're going to drop her down into second gear for this hairpin. Now you're back on it again. This is bendy, but it's flat out. Build up as much speed as you can. You're going to get to about the sign, hard on the brakes, get her down to about second, third gear. Chops overran it a little bit, so this was not necessarily a chicane, but kind of wide out. And you see there, drivers are going to try to get every bit of speed as they can out of that final corner to try to carry that momentum down this front stretch. So while it wasn't the cleanest of laps for Chops, we do want to thank him for the track tour today. But that's the name of the game for Zolder tonight. It really, really is. It's such a tricky course where it's so tempted to push it. However, what we saw with Chops is one mistake can cost you a couple seconds. One bad mistake could cost you the race. We were talking about last time here, I was victorious. I was only the second fastest car that evening. Mac Attack, your 2-time champion, he had a solid half second, if not 0.7 of a second faster than me. But Mac had, whoa! So where Chops just spun out is where Mac had his big mistake, where I took advantage and won that race. That first chicane, you can easily save so much time, like 1.5 seconds a lap, just by attacking it the right way. But as we saw, Chops hit it in a way that spun his car. When it happened to Mac, he hit the first chicane, or the first part of the chicane, the left side tires popped up. When he hit the second part of the chicane, it sent the car veering to the left end, and he went head on to the wall. That's what drivers are going to try to avoid tonight, is that wicked, pretty much double move. All right, now everybody is out of the pits. We have a busy course right now. Now, as we did see, we had Doge out of the lobby. He is back in. He is going in his Ferrari, so no harm, no foul there for Doge. Now, we've had a week off, so while the guys are out there getting their times in, let's go ahead and talk about it. As he gave us the track tour, Chops is your points leader. Remember, he started off the season strong. 2 wins. He had that rough race at Laguna Seca, and then again another rough race at, well, semi-rough at Alton Park. He finished 5th. He had a podium car, but just unfortunate mistakes cost him there at the end. But he holds a 10-point lead over his teammate, One-Eyed Logo, who is not in attendance tonight. This will be the second race that One-Eyed has missed this season. So, big break for Chops. A little bit of a rough break on their team championship hopes. So, they're still leading the team championship right now, obviously being 1 and 2 in points, but they're going to allow some teams to scrap back in it. Now, K-Dog was only 2 points behind One-Eyed, so he is sitting in 3rd place. Doge, let's go ahead and hop on the Ferrari. Doge right now is sitting in 4th place. He is only 17 back of the lead. So he is, our top 4 drivers right now are within 1 race full of points of the leader, Chops. And then rounding out the top 5 in the Porsche, RPG. So he sits 22 points back. He did miss a race last week, or 2 weeks ago at Alton Park. So that put him a little bit further behind the 8 ball, but we still have a lot of season left to go. We have 8 races. So you don't have to make it all up in one race. Pick a little here, pick off a little there. That's all you need to do, and RPG knows that. An interesting fact, actually, now that I remember back at it, so in Season 8 at Zolder, that's where RPG made his debut race with a solid 6th place finish. Alright, let's look at the field now. So, not a shocker. Sitting on early pole right now, Dossie. Dossie missed the first 2 races of the season, got himself a ride, won at Laguna Seca, was leading at Alton Park when disaster happened and damaged his car to the point where he didn't DNF, but he was no longer in contention. Not the finish that he wanted, but right now looking good with an early P1. Now, one thing I'm really happy to see right now, looking at P2, Excise. So Excise made his debut 2 weeks ago at Alton Park, had a really solid finish, a 6th place finish. Excise is now a full-time driver. However, since the Great C call pretty much happened today, we're allowing Excise. He's going to do 1 race in the Renault, and then next week he'll be part of the Mercedes team. Oh, and there's a little bit of early commentator curse for Excise. So this will be his last race in the Renault, and then he'll be driving the Mercedes next week. So Excise trying to get the best of it he can right now. He just got bumped down to 3rd, and give it to my man Bubba right now, sitting P2 in the Porsche. All right, we've got Chops in 4th. Austin in 5th. Now, shout out to Austin Taylor. He is a full-time driver as well. Himself and Dossie have formed a brand new team. We want to wish Ride 8 Kid 84 and Racer Lance the best of luck. Vertical 3 was their team. They have unfortunately had to drop out as of right now. Just life and scheduling, everything's getting in the way. So they've had to, not call it quits full-time for Season 10, but in the intermediate time, they are going to miss a good handful of races. So they went ahead and backed out. That allowed Dossie and Austin to go ahead and form a team, a new Porsche team as well. And speaking of which, so the teammates now are sitting 1-2 as Austin put in a really nice lap. All right, Jaja Links. We got to go down to 6th place before we see our first Ferrari, which has seen a little bit of action here in qualifying. As he just actually dropped to 7th, K-Dog is going to move up into 3rd place. Season 8, K-Dog was your race runner-up to Old Man Hoot. Came in, and actually shout out to K-Dog too for that race. He had no practice, some life events going on. Came in and wung it, and did it. And speaking of winging it, there he goes. An impressive runner-up finish. So that's Zolder. We talked about it just a few minutes ago. This is not an easy circuit. It really does invite you to overpush these turns. The layout seems easy, but it's anything but. All it takes is one little slide, one little mistake, and like we just saw with K-Dog, you loop it. Everybody else starting to put down their laps. Brian, buddy, what's going on, my man? Excited for Thursday. Oh, you got some speed for China? You feeling that one? All right, as we continue going through the leaderboard. So we finished off with Jaja in 7th. We've got Puma currently sitting in 8th. We've got Dre in 9th. Two-Tone Tommy in 10th. Drew the Great, who's just found out too yesterday, he is a full-time driver now as well. So he is actually jumped in the Ferrari. He'll be teaming with Doge. We want to wish Addicted the best of luck. Same thing. Life events happen. Addicted's going to have to sit out the PRL. You know, wishes him nothing but the best, and he's always welcome back. So hopefully here, you know, in the near future, we get Addicted back. But in the meantime, we've got Drew jumping into the Ferrari. Gonna keep it nice and comfy and see what he can do here. All right, we got Sandman in 12th, and we still have Doge, RPG, and Gord out to yet to put in laps. But we're still just under 4 minutes now, so plenty of time. As we see, it takes about a minute and a half to get a lap around. So if you're just leaving the pits, you still have plenty of time to get that hot lap in. Sweet, Gordau over the break as well. So he is in the Mercedes driving the gray Hot Wheels. Next week, his teammate Excise will be in the blue Hot Wheels. Two guys who race together in NASCAR. Excise also new to the Formula One League as well, so him and Gordau will be sharing a lot of tracks together. All right, back up front. Dossie has widened the gap a little bit. He keeps improving on his time. He hasn't quite snuck into the 31s yet. He's at a 32.1. But over a second gap on his teammate right now, Austin in second. So Dossie is showing some really strong qualifying pace. But as we know, qualifying pace, race pace, two completely different things. You can go all out here in qualifying. If you wreck, you just reset, you get fresh tires. On the race, you're going to have a more conservative approach. We've got the mandatory pit on. Remember, you have to make a change of tires. So it's going to be really, really challenging to make sure that you take care of your tires and make it a nice one-stopper. Now we're getting into the nitty-gritty. Just over 2 minutes to go. We have Puma in the pit and Drew in the pit. If those guys don't leave now, that's going to be it. Jaja just entered the pit. They'll have to get out if they want to get one last shot at a lap in. All right, Bubba in his Porsche. Currently sitting P4 right now. All right, there we go. RPG has put it on a lap. He is right behind his teammate, Bubba. He's currently sitting P5. He'll easily be able to put in one more lap, even an extra lap after that if he wishes. All right, Dossie has done it. He jumped into the 31s, a 31.89. He's going to call it quits. He went ahead and went to pit road. K-Dog, looks like he may have slightly improved on his time, but he called it quits. He's in the pits. The 5 drivers in the pits, that's it. They're not going to have time to get another lap in, even though I see somebody is trying to lead the pits, but unfortunately that'll be all for naught. They're going to get shut down as soon as they get to the start-finish line. And there they go. They just realized that. All right, Austin is out there trying to make sure he nails down that second spot, because really he doesn't have much breathing room at all. There is only 6 100ths that separate Austin and Bubba, who's back in 4th place. And RPG is not far behind from there, and even Chops is within striking distance. Excise is within a half second. Now here's what's killer though, is there is a gaggle here on the front stretch. All right, so Chops has jumped up to P2. And he went ahead and called it quits. He is in the pits. Excise is in the pits. Puma is in the pits. We've got Bubble still out on the track. We've got RPG, who has jumped up into 3rd place, and he's still going. He wants another lap. Austin, who was just sitting P2 30 seconds ago, now finds himself in P4, back in the 2nd row. This last lap is going to be crucial. as we're still waiting on Doge. Doge just did sneak it in. Doge has one last shot at a lap. And so does Gordau. Alright, we got Tommy. He's out there. He's trying to improve on his time. And we've got Austin and RPG both out there. RPG is going to be the first one. We also, Dre is out there as well. Keep the eye on the leaderboard here. This driver's starting to come around for the final time. Dre is going to be the first one to hit. We'll follow Dre, currently sitting in 10th. If he wants to gain a position, he's got to gain over a half second on this time. At a 36 flat. And we're not going to be able to tell because here comes the bugs. On a good note is the next patch that we will receive on the PS4, it's going to fix this. It's in the patch notes, so hopefully here at the end of qualifying and the end of the race, it'll no longer glitch out our leaderboard and we'll be able to properly tell who is in what position. What we do know, though, is Dossie is on the pole. And actually, so second place has disappeared, so maybe Austin, maybe RPG. We'll have to see. That last lap did prove beneficial to somebody. Unfortunately, with this bug leaderboard, we do not know, but we will find out here soon. Alright, catching up on chat here while we're waiting out this timer. K-Dog got airborne in the first chicane and went into the wall. Unfortunately, we missed that. I would love to see you smash it up. However, we did see your sweet little slide there at a turn number 4, so. And there we go. Dossie claims his pole. RPG jumped up into second place. We got Chops in third, Austin in fourth, K-Dog in fifth, Bubba in sixth, X-Ice in seventh, Jaja in eighth, Dre jumped up to ninth, Puma is in 10th. Tommy in 11th, Drew in 12th, Gordau put in a lap to 13th, Sam in a 14th, and Doge was not able to complete a lap. Now, there used to be a qualifying bug where if you left and came back, it would not score you. I'm not sure if that was the case with Doge, but he will have his hands full. He is starting dead last in the field, 15th. He is going to have to keep that Ferrari clean and race his way to the front. All right, as soon as K-Dog gives the race command, here we go. The 2-minute timer starts. Everybody's looking at their fuel, looking at their setups. Make sure it's tweaked for the race. Wow! All right, so with the scoreboard being jacked up, we didn't even see this. Doge actually is starting second. He is not starting last. So Doge, strong run in the Ferrari. He is going to start outside, or excuse me, I would say outside of row 1, but really, once again, Project Cars, they caddy corner the car, so there's no true rows. But Doge is going to have that inside line going into turn 1. So Dossie needs to make sure he gets a nice clean start, keeps that car length overtake, make sure he separates himself for that Ferrari, or else Doge is going to look to pounce here on lap 1. See if he can't hold that position. All right, RPG going to start third. Chops in fourth, Austin in fifth, K-Dog in sixth. All right, all those last minute tweaks. Make sure everybody's all set. Matter of fact, let's go ahead. We're going to do a little peeking. So Dossie with 80 liters. Doge with only 65 liters. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Unless that's bugged, RPG has an issue. RPG, what I'm showing right now is only 20 liters. Hopefully he's still in there trying to save his setup, and that'll get corrected. Chops with 75. Austin as well just showing 33 liters. Now, anybody new to the broadcast with these GT3 cars, when they make a pit stop, you can only change tires and then fuel. You can't do both at the same time. So if you have to take fuel on your pit stop, it is going to cost you a ton of time. The preferred strategy is start with enough fuel to get you to the end of the race, so when you do come in for your mandatory pit stops, it's just tires. All right, the sinking is happening. All right, RPG did get his fix. Austin did not. Austin's only 33, but we are green. We will catch up on the fuel later. All right, Dossie with a clean start going into turn 1. RPG with a great start on the outside. Him and Doge. Oh, Chops had a great start. They are 3 wide. Somebody is going flying off the track. That appears to be... It appears to be Doge. Doge went flying off the track. I don't know if he saw that Chops was there or not, but we'll catch up on that in a second. So Dossie is first. RPG is second. Chops, using a little muscle there in turn 1, goes up to third. Bubba has overtaken K-Dog. He's in fourth. K-Dog will start fifth. All right, Austin now in 6th place. And there comes the gaggle next. Excise, Dre, Puma, Two-Tone. Into the first chicane. Very dangerous part. Looks like everybody's going to make it through, though. We've got to catch up to our number 2 qualifier. Doge just got swallowed up there off the start into turn 1. It does not appear to have any damage on the Ferrari, though. So, very, very lucky on that part. But he has got a ton of ground to make up. That is a very fast Ferrari, is what we saw in qualifying. So he needs to be patient. He needs to pick them off one by one. He has 29 laps to rebound from that. And we were at a really difficult car angle. I couldn't tell if Doge didn't know if he was clear and came down, or if Chops, tried that dive in there, if he came up into Doge. But either way, it was an unfortunate incident for Doge. He's already trying to start to make it up now. You know what? And Doge as well. We're going to have to do our best to kind of keep our eye on Doge, because the scoreboard is messed up for him as well in the race. So, all right, back up front. Dossie, your pole sitter, got the clean start. He's got a lot of empty track. This is what he wants to see. RPG, he's got it tucked into second. All right, Chops in third with K-Dog. K-Dog has gotten around Bubba. Oh, and there's a lot of damage on Austin as well. So, Austin, that nose is crumpled in on that Porsche. In 6th, he's got Dre right behind him, having a strong start. And here we go. So the battle for third, K-Dog. Oh, that's an issue for Chops. Chops went off. We know K-Dog was right on his tail. Not sure what happened, but Chops was off, and he lost a chunk of positions. He went from 3rd all the way down to 9th. This is what we were talking about at Zolder. Just a blink of an eye is all it takes. So with Chops in 9th, Gordow in 10th, and if I camera serving it, there he is. Doge is in 11th. He is working on Gordow right now. Doge qualified 2nd. Had a 3-wide deal in turn 1. Doge went flying off into the gravel. Trying to recover now. Gordow having some issues here in the final set of turns. Does the sportsman thing, just tries to get it out of the way instead of risking damage to another car. So that's going to move Doge up into 10th. Couple seconds now behind Chops, as Chops now makes a move on Two-Tone Tommy. So put Chops up to 8th. We've got a battle now going on for 6th. Because of the Chops issue, that moved everybody else up one. So Dre, Dre pushed a little hard, caught some gravel. Good job catching it. That's going to move Puma up to 6th. Shout out to Puma. 2 weeks ago at Alton Park, not only did he have a career race, he had a podium. Oh! Was that Chops again? Oh, and a big hit! Chops spun out of the chicane. Tommy spun out of the chicane. Nowhere to go. Both Audis, a lot of damage now. You see the headlight is out on Chops. Chops qualified in 5th, had a great start, and then in his last lap, it is gone bad. 2 offs, this time contact with cars. Both cars spinning pretty much in the same spot, so unfortunately with Chops trying to get it going, here came Tommy, and then boom, big collision. Chops now has to assess the damage, see how much his lap times are falling off, and then he has to select when he's going to go in and pit. Tire wear is a factor here at Zolder. So it would be risky if you try to pit this early and then go the rest of the way. He is bypassing the entry to pit road. Chops is going to stay out there. Alright, let's go ahead and try to peek in at Doge. So Doge now is up in 8th place. He's got Dre right in front of him. Great recovery by Doge. There he is on lap 4. Fell all the way back to 15th place on lap 1. Showing a lot of muscle in that Ferrari. And he's smart about it. He's not forcing the issues. He's waiting. He's setting up his passing opportunities. Dre went wide there again in turn 3. Excuse me, turn 4. So Doge put him up into 7th place. Alright, our field up front is starting to separate. Dossie has already opened up a 5.5 second lead. RPG right now, tucked in 2nd place. He has 5 seconds over K-Dog. K-Dog with almost 4 seconds over Bubba. And then Austin currently sitting in 5th with the damage to the front. Not sure what happened there. Did not get to see it, but we will save the replay of this race, though. And when we get into Banter time, we're going to go in and review the craziness that was those first couple laps there. All right, Puma is holding strong in 6th, but you see a Ferrari sneaking up behind him. That would be Doge. All right, Dre actually scored 8th right now. Scoreboard 7th, but he's actually in 8th. Chops in 9th. Still out there, is not pitting yet. Got Jaja in 10th. Excise in 11th. Drew the Great in 12th. Tommy, who is the other, who unfortunately spun out of the chicane when Chops was just sitting there in the gravel. You see, he got some really big damage to it too. He's currently sitting at 13th. That car is struggling. Tommy might be looking at pitting soon. Alright, Gordau is in 14th. Whoa! That was Puma. So Puma, the first chicane is going to get Puma as well. A little bit more wheel spin as he tried to get it going. So that's going to put Doge up into 6th place. And Dre now up into 7th. And I apologize for the silence, folks. I'm trying to make up for the scoreboard being bugged. And we did lose a driver as well. Oh! Contact! So it looks like Chops was trying to get under Puma there going into the 2nd chicane. Puma felt like he must have came down on the Chops doing the sportsman thing, gave the position to Chops. However, that also allowed Jaja to sneak in there. So that's going to move Jaja to 9th. Puma will be in 10th. Chops in 8th. Alright, looking in on Austin in 5th. There is Doge in 6th, right behind him. But we're going to hop back now. The battle for 8th, 9th, and 10th. And actually, not too far behind Dre either. Jaja tucked in behind the damaged Chops right now. 3 drivers trying to catch up to Dre. Trying to make this a 4-car battle for 7th place. On lap number 6 of 29 here at Zolder. Actually, what we'll go ahead and do is let's hop on the roof here of the Ferrari. Riding around with Jaja as he tries to close in on Chops. As Chops is trying to close in on Dre. And you can just see the camera angle there. The way it hops when you hit that chicane. Very violent. Not a shocker at all that we've seen multiple drivers have issues there. The battle is now on for 7th place. Chops is caught to the back of Dre. Jaja is tucked in behind Chops. Chops, your points leader, won the first 2 races of the season. It was looking great. 3rd race in a row now, he's had issues. Trying to recover though, still a lot of race left. Oh, Chops! The second to last turn. Chops, there's a little hump there on that left-hander. Chops got on the gas too soon. When his car bogged down and he tried to accelerate, we saw what happened. Wheel spin, he whipped it right around. So Chops now is going to lose 3 more positions. He's going to drop him down to 11, tucked in right behind X-Ice and Puma. All right, we hopped on board with Austin. We're going to go trackside now. We're looking for Doge. We see Bubba up ahead. There's Doge. So Doge is still sitting in 6th place. Slowly trying to close in on Austin. RPG right now trying to do his best. It was 5.5 seconds ago. Now it's just a little over 6 seconds. Trying to not let Dossie get too far ahead. Dossie right now knows he has very strong pace. Could look at doing a little bit of tire conservation right now. Make sure he is more than set to make it on a one-stopper. K-Dog not too far back. Just a little over 2 seconds of RPG. Just enough to, remind RPG that he is there. Bubba having a good early run right now. In 4th place. Trying to make sure he keeps his distance. 3.5 ahead of Austin. With Doge right behind Austin. Austin in his first race in a Porsche. Doing the best he can with that damage that he has on the front of that vehicle. Try to take away the slipstream from Doge there. He's going to slip a little wide. Doge is going to... Nope. Actually, Doge just kind of took her a little easy there. Very, very tricky here to pass in these first 3 corners. Very dangerous. Doge thought better of it. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and we're going to hop on with Doge. The roof of the Ferrari, he's got to run, but you do not want to go side by side on the first chicane, and Doge knows that. He went ahead and he played it smart again. Very, very classy driving by Doge. He's got to pick his points. There he goes out of the chicane. He's got to run. Just can't quite get there, though. Into the second chicane. Waiting to see if Austin will make a slip. Not yet. Coming up to the hairpin. Both drivers nice and smooth. The Porsche has a little bit more acceleration than the Ferrari. You see, once you get about that mid-speed, the Ferrari kind of closes that gap a little bit. Pretty much even there through the sectors 2 and 3. Doge with a really nice run out of turn 1, but again, it appears Doge to be faster in sector 1, but it's such a difficult place to try to pass that, unless he can get an inside run right here. Closed in a little bit, but not enough to establish overtake. He's going to go for it. There may have been a little bit of contact there. Austin got on that outside curbing. Maybe had to collect it up a little bit. The drivers are still side by side. Austin's going to back out of it. That's going to give Doge 5th place. Again, you do not want to go door to door into this first chicane. So Austin with a little bit of issues on the exit of turn 3. Tried to keep it side by side in turn 4. But eventually, Doge completes the overtake. He's up to 5th. Doge has now passed 10 cars in 9 laps. Remember, turn 1, he got sent into the gravel. Fell all the way back to last place and has worked himself up. Alright, Dossie starting to put a gap on the field. Actually, we have to call it out. Problems with RPG. RPG must have had a pretty decent off track, so he has fallen back to 3rd place. And this is going to give a big gap to Dossie. It was about 6.5 seconds. Now it's 12.5 seconds back to K-Dog. RPG just ran the fastest lap that last time around, so he's got speed in the Porsche. Apparently, just must have had an issue, spun out of one of the turns, and lost a big chunk of time. Alright, Bubba's still locking down 4th in his Porsche. Teammates running third and fourth right now. Oh, Bubba goes wide out of turn 4. All right, great job. Had to work the throttle a little bit, make sure he didn't spin it around, but it's going to cost them some time. It's going to allow Doge to catch up possibly a full second or so off that mistake. Bubba there. Bubba might want to watch out. He may have to back out of that. Really aggressive there on that curbing. Speaking of which, so we have a couple of red dots there on our leaderboard. Those are time penalties. So we're looking at Dossie with a 1 second penalty right now. Chops has got to be careful. Chops has 3 seconds. If you accumulate 5 seconds of penalties, not only do you have that 5 seconds taken off your total time, you must serve a drive-through penalty as well. Alright, looking out throughout the field here, we got Puma and Jaja, the battle for 8th place. This seems to be our closest battle for position right now. Though RPG is catching back up to K-Dog, and in a hurry as K-Dog had issues. Look at that last lap time. K-Dog was 6 seconds off the pace. That has allowed RPG to close right on in. But with RPG and K-Dog both having issues, that has allowed Dossie to open up almost a 17-second lead now. Really, really great start for Dossie. This is the kind of rebound race that he wanted after Alton Park, but still have a long way to go. Here we go. We're going to hop on top of the Porsche of RPG. Tries to size up K-Dog here in the battle for second place as they go through the second chicane. Oh, RPG. Wow. So it was really hard to tell from this roof cam. It looked like the back end slid out from under him there. Try to catch it. It did grab it. It almost sent him in the wall. There was a little bit of scraping. It seemed to be door, but great job there for RPG minimizing the damage. And Sandman, unfortunately, was our retiree. In the chat now. Just an aggravating night. Sorry to hear that, my man. Yeah, if there was any bugs with your setup or anything like that and it didn't carry over properly, Zolder is not the track you want to have that at. Through Sector 1. RPG keeping it tucked in behind. We also have another battle for 9th place. Dre is behind Jaja as that's starting to heat up now. We keep an eye on these two battles going on for position. The rest of the field pretty well spread out right now. We'll also keep an eye too on Doge, see if he's going to start catching up on Bubba. Doge got disconnected in qualifying, rejoined, and unfortunately it bunked out the scoreboard. Doge right now is running 5th. As we just had another retiree as well. RPG's able to get it close, but not close enough to really solidify that overtake going into the turn. This would be, if you could establish overtake, this is your best passing opportunity right here at the hairpin. He's going to give it a look. K-Dog with that outside momentum though. RPG showing the Porsche muscle right now. All right, he's going to force K-Dog to have a weird angle into this. Oh, great job by K-Dog. Oh, there he goes wide. RPG's going to take another look. K-Dog did a really good job, though, with that weird angle he had on the left-hander. Takes that outside momentum. He's going to keep second place secured right now. This is working out great for Dossie. These guys battling are going to cost them some more time. Dossie's opened up over a 19-second lead now. Oh, K-Dog caught grass in the braking zone. Now he's struggling. There he goes. He finally got curbed. He lost complete traction on the left-hand side there. So K-Dog did the smart play. Didn't get back on it. Didn't risk it. He lost some seconds, but he would have lost a lot more if he would have whipped it around. And we've got the first of the pitters, not a shocker, Austin. A little bit early. You're looking pretty much lap 15, 14 or so. So Austin coming in a lap or so early, not as much worried about the tires as getting that damage fixed on that Porsche. It's going to relinquish 6th place to do it. Let's take a look at Doge. Actually, looking at these camera angles, so while we were watching those battles, Bubba, no! Commentator curse. We saw Bubba pop it up on 2 wheels on the first part of that chicane, whipped it around as soon as the wheel lands. He's going again. The camera is staring off into RV land. Try to get it reset. There we go. So he'll maintain 5th place. Doge is up in 4th. Excise with a strong run. He is up in 6th right now. All right, Dre has taken the Ferrari down pit road as well. And by that pit, so that's going to drop Austin down to 11th place. What works out in Austin's favor, though, is he has a lot of clean track in front of him right now. That's always the risk you take with short pitting, is where do you come out in regards to traffic. And actually, he just comes out in front of his teammate as well. That's Dossie right behind him, our leader. Alright, so RPG maintaining that distance to K-Dog. It's been sitting around that 1.7, 1.8 ever since K-Dog had the issues clipping the grass. I'm going to try to take a peek here. We're going to hop on the roof cam of Doge. Alright, he's just in the first chicane. Alright, so he's got a distance to go. I'm going to take a guess and call that about 15 seconds behind RPG and K-Dog. But hats off to Doge. Like I said, qualified 2nd. Off into the gravel out of turn 1 on the first lap. All the way down to 15th. Has recovered to 4th before the start of the pit cycles. So Doge trying to make a really strong run to get a podium spot. Sandman, yes he did. Caught some serious air, and there goes RPG. RPG is in. RPG is giving up 2nd place. Alright, and we are on lap 15. I'm expecting we're going to see pit road hopping here pretty shortly. We've already had a handful of guys pit. A lot more guys to come in. As Bubba has a mirror full of Excise right now. Excise with a great run. Bubba is not even going to contend it. So, hats off to Excise as he just raced himself up. Whoa, and Excise goes wide. This is going to give Bubba a run. And Bubba's going to get it back. This is the battle for 5th place between Bubba and Excise. And Bubba's going to go wide into turn 1. These guys just refuse to hold this position and are giving it back and forth right now. And that was a costly one for Bubba. That's going to allow Puma to get by him. Bubba is still there. Bubba finally gets it back on the track. And as you see, RPG pitted in 2nd place. He's going to come out 5th. He's tucked in right behind Puma. He's got to make short work of Puma now. He can't cough up too much time. He has to make sure that he has that track position. He doesn't give the spot to K-Dog when K-Dog pits. So it's a battle for position. We're going to hop on. RPG giving him some headlights. That's normally customary for lapped cars, but in this case, I don't know if he realizes this. Puma is not a lapped car. This is a battle for position here. Puma on the worn tires, though. What we were talking about, RPG needs to get by him. Losing a ton of time here. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Both drivers kind of swerved back and forth to see what angle they were going to take going into the hairpin. Seemed to mess up the braking zone a little bit because Puma did swing wide, going left into the braking zone. RPG then swung to the right to try to make sure he didn't get into the back of him, and ended up being a little bit of touching there on the entrance. That's going to give RPG 5th place. All right, Bubba's in the pits. as K-Dog has had more issues. K-Dog is now 30 seconds behind, and as we're on top of the car right now of Doge, this is the battle for second place. As we have, I believe that was the yellow Ferrari of Drew there, spun out into the hairpin. Also keeping an eye on the leaderboard. When's Dossie gonna pit? K-Dog's got to pit. Doge to pit. X-Ice to pit. RPG, it says fourth. He's really in fifth place right now. He is the top driver who has pitted. And here comes Doge. Doge had to check up a little bit, make sure he didn't get to the back of the K-Dog, so that slowed him down a little bit on his entrance, but Doge is in. Dossie and K-Dog have yet to pit, but you see Dossie, though, still running great laps. Sector 1, he is within a half second of his fastest time. Which you're looking at right now, his best lap was a 32.9. That's really, really, really solid for any kind of pace, let alone race pace. Only driver to hit into the 32s. K-Dog's gotten close with a 33.1. Also had RPG in the 33s. Alright. There's Chops, who's sitting in 8th place right now. The tail in the lead lap. However, Dossie will still have to pit. Jaja is in the pits as well. Dossie's feeling really comfortable on his tires right now, taking them a decent way. And Austin's coming into pit again. I just remembered from earlier we were looking at the fuel of Austin, which he has the fuel, but he must have received more damage on the Porsche. He is in. Jaja's getting fresh tires on his Ferrari. RPG with some open track right now. And we see with K-Dog's issues, he ran a 44.8 the last time around. He lost well over 10 seconds in one lap. That is huge for RPG. So not if RPG keeps it clean, when K-Dog comes into pit, that's going to give RPG a big gap to work with. He should overtake second place. Not only that, Doge should be able to overtake K-Dog as well. Well, Doge should pretty much be on the rear of K-Dog. When Doge left the pit road, he had open track. He's got a couple cars in front of him, but still a little bit of ways away, so Doge is still able to run it hard. Alright. Looking at K-Dog, battling the lap traffic right now. That's Dre in front of him. Alright, Puma has pitted. We're still waiting on Dossie to pit. Dossie working on Chops to put him a lap down. Chops isn't going to fight the leader being a lap down car. Gives the position to him. K-Dog still needs to pit. X-Ice needs to pit. RPG has pitted. Doge has pitted. Matter of fact, RPG is not even waiting for X-Ice to pit. RPG is overtaken. So there's your battle for third as of this moment. RPG with still that strong pace. Let's check back in on our leader. When will he pit? He's got a 30-second advantage over K-Dog, which should translate roughly into about a 25-second or so, maybe even more, maybe less. We'll have to see over RPG when the cycles happen, and RPG takes second place from K-Dog. Dossie's coming around the hairpin. Here we are in lap 19 of 29. It'll be 10 to go because you cross the start-finish line on pit road. Is Dossie going to pit? Yes, he is. Your leader is taking the Porsche down pit road now. You see K-Dog Still a good chunks away. Hasn't even started Sector 3 yet. Puma getting out of the way. Actually, so Puma getting out of the way for K-Dog, that allowed Bubba right behind him to take that position. So give Bubba 7th place, capitalizing on Puma, serving the blue flag there. K-Dog, you see, just blasting it down pit road. This is it. All right, RPG, pretty much in the same spot that K-Dog was when Dossie pitted. Catching up to some lapped cars, though. Out of the hairpin. There's the damaged Porsche of Austin. Unfortunately, that roughed up yellow Ferrari of Drew. Alright, Dossie is back out on the track. There he is in turn 2. RPG is going down the front stretch. Alright, there's your pass for 2nd place, and it is going to be about a 20-second gap. So at this point, RPG at times has showed comparable speed to Dossie. So RPG is going to need some help if he's going to take that top spot in the podium. Unfortunately, RPG right now caught in a battle for 10th place between Austin and Drew. Guys are trying to be courteous to the lead lap cars. They've got their own race going on right now, so. There we go. Austin found a good spot, went ahead and backed out of it. There you go. That's sometimes the best thing that you can do as a lap car. Don't make any sudden movements. You go ahead and find a good spot that's safe for both guys. He moved over, got off the gas, allowed RPG to overtake, and then gets right back on it. Alright, that 20-second gap now has moved about 22.5 seconds. Dossie right now just dominant. Your pole sitter. It's led from every lap so far, including through the pit cycles. Mike G, thanks for hopping in. Send it, brother. How's it going, my man? As we're looking at the scoreboard now, a bit of a battle heating up here for 6th place. You got Bubba, Puma behind him, Jaja within range as well. Got a 3-car battle. Actually, so what we need, as these guys are trying to settle themselves out, we need to look real quick. Alright, Doge is coming out of turn 3 right now. Where is K-Dog? K-Dog is just now going into turn 2, so Doge has taken 3rd place. And that appears to be around a 7-second, maybe 8-second gap that Doge has over K-Dog as K-Dog is sliding. Great catch by K-Dog. We saw him make that same mistake in practice and lose it. He learned from his mistake, and that time with a big power slide, but able to keep the wheels underneath her, did not go in the gravel, heated up the tires a little bit, maybe worn out those left sides a little bit more. However, K-Dog did pit really late, so the extra tire wear should not be an issue to get to the end of this race. But I know our scoreboard is messed up, so everybody who's joined the stream, Doge got disconnected in qualifying, rejoined, qualified 2nd, but the scoreboard is messed up and it's showing him down in 13th. He is currently sitting 3rd right now. Doge, like we said, qualified 2nd. There was 3 wide going into turn 1. Doge was in the middle. Before we knew it, Doge got flying into the gravel. So we'll watch the replay back afterwards. Not sure what happened, but he has made an amazing recovery. He was all the way back in last place in 15th at that point, has raced his way up through the field and is sitting 3rd. All right, let's go back to the battle. As Puma trying to chase down Bubba. Austin has... Oh no, that's not Austin. That is our leader, Dossie. So Dossie putting a big chunk of the field a lap down now. But Puma and Jaja letting the leader go by. Jaja look into the hairpin, see if he can make a move on Puma. But what these guys need to do right now is just kind of stay nose to tail, keep it tucked in behind Dossie. Let Dossie catch up to Bubba. When Bubba goes to serve the blue flag, then they go ahead and make it a 3-car battle again there for 6th place. This is Dossie's 3rd race with us, McSendit. He won his debut. He was in the lead at Alton Park when, unfortunately, he wrecked while in the lead. He pretty much took over from Mac. Mac was the resident alien, had to retire from the league, and now Dossie's in and just throwing some really, really wonderful times down in that beautiful, beautiful Porsche. Battle is heating up. Jaja giving the McLaren of Puma a whole rearview mirror of red Ferrari. In fact, we're going to go ahead and now hop on the roof of the Ferrari. There's that first chicane that's been eating guys up tonight. We saw it earlier in the race. Your points leader, Chops, hit it too aggressively, looped it as he was recovering. I believe that was... I'm trying to remember now who that was. I forget, but unfortunately made the exact same mistake. It was Two-Tone Tommy, that's who it was. So, Chops hit the first part of the chicane, spun it on exit. Collecting his car, Tommy hits that same part at the beginning of the chicane. He looped it the exact same way that Chops did, and then there was heavy contact between the two. So your points leader right now, it shows 8th. Really, he's in 9th. Not a good points day for him. As well, too, his teammate One-Eyed, who's 2nd in the points, did not hit in attendance tonight. K-Dog currently running 4th, looking to make up a lot of ground. Alright, Jaja's falling back just a little bit. Not within striking range, but Puma makes a mistake, Jaja will be right there. Bubba is still yet to get lapped. He is still yet to give position up to Dossie. This is working out in Bubba's favor right now. He's got 4 seconds. He's hoping that Dossie will catch him in the perfect spot where Bubba really won't lose pretty much any delta to these guys. Before Dossie entered, this was a 3-car battle. Not only that, those guys are trying to catch up to Excise. Excise in 5th place. Bubba is just 2 seconds behind Excise. So 5th through 8th right now. Not a whole lot of gap between the 4 cars. This is the closest battle we have going on right now. We're going to take a peek on top of Bubba's Porsche. And there's Excise. So Bubba's closing in as well. Bubba with a strong run there out of the final turn. Got a lapped car. I believe that's Tommy there just getting out of the way. Again, with the PRL, just great sportsmanship with these guys. Not pressing the issue, and you don't have to. Don't want to compromise a race if you're having a leader's race, if you're having a rough one yourself. So, great showmanship out of Two-Tone Tommy there. Letting these guys duke it out. There's only 6 cars right now are in the lead lap, with Excise and Bubba being the last 2 cars on the lead lap. They've got Dossie not too far behind them. Whoa! Oh no! There went Excise. Bubba had a big hop, but kept it under him. Excise did not. He loops it. There goes Tommy. And Dossie went as well. And there's Jaja and Puma. So Excise with a really tough 3-position spin here late into the race. That's going to give Bubba 5th place. Excise going to fall to 8th. However, right there is 6th and 7th, and Excise is going around again. There goes his headlights. That was a really hard hit, and this is going to be really bad for Excise. No headlights now. For the most part, this track is okay, well lit. So, but he is going to have a handful here, these final handful of laps. All right, we see K-Dog getting around Dre. He's got more lap cars in front of him. Need to take a peek in on Doge here. All right, so Doge just now starting Sector 3. RPG... Doge is closing in, for sure. Doge actually last time around, we can't tell. But Doge is closing in on RPG, but with only 4 laps to go. Not sure if he's going to have the time to catch it up. He needs RPG to have a slip. Sandman, we all said it. Zolder is not for the faint of heart. That's why a certain handsome broadcaster takes this win with pride. To win at Zolder, you have to be damn near perfect. Like I said, when I won back in Season 8, I was a fast car. I wasn't the fastest. Yes, I was a fast car, but I was the one guy who was able to keep it clean the whole time. That's what it takes. Alright, let's hop back out. I'm going to jump back and look at this battle. So, Puma must have had a mistake. Jaja has... as Puma is going to fight back hard. Here we go into the hairpin. So Jaja has jumped up to 6th place. He's bumping Puma down to 7th. And then, unfortunately, the Renault of Excise, the bumper, hanging on by hopes and dreams right now. No headlights. Still a 2-car battle going on for 6th place. Jaja and the Ferrari. Puma and the McLaren. Oh, Puma goes a little wide out of turn 1. Tommy getting out of the way of this battle again. Kudos to Tommy. Mick said it, he pretty much is right now. So actually, what we'll do real quick. This is what he sees. Excise driving around without headlights after that big smash. So here in Sector 1's not that bad. You have the big track lighting, so while you do have glimpses of darkness, for the most part, you see where you can go. That's not an issue. The issue is when we get into the woods part back here in Sector 2. Decently well lit there in the first chicane. The entry to the forest is well lit as well. He makes it through the second chicane. This part of the forest might be a little tricky, but as we see, actually, the track lighting really is not that bad. You still have a clear view of the concrete wall there. The end of the wall is pretty much a braking marker for the hairpin. So, Excise, there could be worse tracks to lose your headlights on. Let's put it that way. So, it's not preferred. It definitely could be worse. Alright, with 2 to go, we got to give some love. He hasn't had a lot of camera time. He's pretty much pulled a McSend He took the pole and just ran away from this race since the start. Dossie trying to lead wire to wire. Remember, he pitted late, so he didn't even give up the lead during the pit cycles. Going for full out domination. RPG in second. Doge not too far behind in third. Oh, and there was a mistake by Doge. There's some little extra commentator curse. I was about to say Doge needs RPG to make a mistake to make it a battle for second. But Doge was the one who made the mistake, and that's going to give some breathing room to RPG here with 2 laps to go. Still, can't say it enough though. You see Doge trying to swerve now, get the gravel off his tires. But the recovery that Doge has had though, qualified second, sent into the gravel in turn 1, all the way back to 15th, has raced his way up. Just a great job in that Ferrari tonight. And really, that's the only mistake I've seen out of Doge so far. Alright. K-Dog running fourth as Dossie has just now taken the white flag. So, here we go. We're going to give the respect to the leader. We're going to follow him around here on this last lap. Your pole sitter. Last time we checked, he was the fastest. Yes, he has the fastest lap of the race as well. So, Dossie, just about a little under 2 miles now from the hat trick. Trying to make it happen in that beautiful, beautiful Porsche. Going through the second chicane. Nice and smooth like he's been all night. Now entering Sector 3. And working with almost a 30-second lead. Just flat out dominance by Dossie tonight. Having some fun with the headlights. He knows it's coming. Entering the final 2 turns. And here he comes down the front stretch one last time. And he's going to take it. His second career victory in just 3 races. Congratulations to Dossie. RPG just entering Sector 3 now. RPG qualified third. Was able to establish overtake on that outside line entering turn 1. Then craziness ensued that somehow he did not get collected up in. Was running second, had offs. K-Jog had offs. Those guys are trading the position back and forth. Ultimately, RPG with the cleaner race, and he's going to bring it home. This is going to be a 1-2 for Porsches. All right, we see where K-Dog is just entering Sector 3. We cannot get the camera on any of the Doges right now. No, there he is. All right, so Doge just crossed the finish line. Congratulations. Great recovery by Doge. K-Dog is going to bring her home in 4th. And that's going to be at only 4 cars on the lead lap. Everybody flashing headlights. Happy that this one's over. And then, oh my goodness. The last car to cross the finish line, Austin, who had a fast car tonight, but as you can tell, that Porsche is, it's seen some things. It has seen some terrible things. Tough break for Austin. But great for Austin Desi Racing, as Desi has taken the victory here at Zolder. All right, the timer's out. Here comes your official scoreboard. Maybe. There it is. All right, even the official scoreboard is jacked up, because it shows Doge with a DNF, but that is not the case. Doge did finish 3rd. See if I could save the replay here. Yep, replay is downloading. All right, so Dossie, your winner. RPG in 2nd. Doge in 3rd. K-Dog would be 4th. Bubba, he'll round out your top 5. Great run by Jaja Links. He'll take 6th. Puma in 7th. Excise in 8th. Tough break for our points leader, Chops, in 9th. We'll try to figure out where that's going to put the points. Austin fell to 10th. Tommy in 11th. Drew in 12th. Dre had a great start to the race. Unfortunately, he fell all the way back to 13th. And then that's going to be Sandman and Gordow as our 2 DNFs to represent 14th and 15th. Well, Zolder was, pretty much what we were expecting tonight. It is not an easy track by any means, and it ate some drivers up. So just terrible break there for a couple guys. Great rebound by Doge, though. And there we go. So, now that the lobby's officially over, let's go ahead and toss out some invites. Let's do some podium interviews. There we go. All right, also, too, Twitchland, in case you're wondering why the hell we're getting blue screens again. Old Man Hoot's laptop took a crapper there. My hard drive crashed, but it's back in commission, so hopefully by next week I'll have everything with the OSB up and running again, and we'll have some classy broadcasts.
Hey.
What's going on, brother?
Nothing much.
All right, there's Doge. Now we just need RPG. Is that a victory toke I heard?
Yep.
Actually, while RPG's hopping in, let's go ahead and get this started. So, I mean, what can you say? The pole by a big margin. Led wire to wire every single lap due to that late pit and able to maintain during the cycle. And then won with a 30-second gap. Dossie, my man, congratulations tonight.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, per usual, my goal of the race was try to be, consistent and as clean as possible. But within the first few laps, I was luckily able to get a pretty big lead there at the beginning. From then on, I mean, it's all she wrote. I think I'm 8th in points, and that was being a weightless driver. I don't know if it's too far-fetched, but I'm going to try and go on a tear and go for 3rd in points. But, yeah.
Well, it's not that far-fetched with one eye missing tonight and Chops having his issues. This was a big points night for you. So
yeah, hopefully I think that'll put me in 5th maybe.
It 6th. Might be. Yeah, it's definitely going to close the gap for sure. It's going to be a lot tighter. We had only 4 drivers within one race worth of points. I think that gap is definitely closing, especially with RPG finishing 2nd. He was the first driver out. Now he's well within it. But, so, Dossie, man, I got to give you a big thank you. So, that's back-to-back Zolder wins for Porsche/Rough. So, fantastic work, my man. Doing God's work.
I was actually about to bring that up. Yeah, I'm glad I could keep your honor from last year, or from last season.
And not only that, shout out to RPG, a 1-2 for the Porsches. So, good stuff there, my man. Let's go ahead and talk about RPG. We saw, for the most part, we missed your one big off that K-Dog was able to get 2nd place from you there, but other than that, running a pretty solid race. Probably a couple mistakes that you want back, but hey, you got to be happy with the 2nd place, bud.
Yeah, I had a couple slowdowns. My main goal, as always, is to just not crash because I can't seem to nail that down. So I mainly achieved that. I didn't receive any damage, which I'll take for sure. I wish I could take back that one big off, but that combined with all the other minor mistakes, it cost me 1 or 2 seconds a lap, here and there.
We were watching a battle and we completely missed it. Where did that happen on the track?
The big off?
Yeah.
That was at the end of Sector 1, that big right-hander, the sweeper.
Okay.
I was just a little heavy on the brakes and got a little sideways, which happens a lot in the Porsche.
Well, actually, we saw Turn 4. Turn 4 was brutal tonight. It ate up a good amount of guys. And then
on the gas, even though I was sideways, and that's when it was like, okay, it's gonna go all the way around. I'm like, damn it, I should have just stayed out of the gas. Would have been fine.
Yeah, I would say outside the first chicane, Turn 4, that was the car eater tonight. So you weren't alone. Let's put it that way.
Fun because I would jump it. Jumping the first chicane is a lot of fun.
We may have had some bird's eye views of people jumping the chicane and then losing their stuff. So it definitely kept the broadcast entertaining.
Dude, if you hit it just right, you catch air, it like throws the left side up and then tosses the right side up, and if you don't spin out, you just pin it, that's a really good feeling.
Good times. Well, congratulations, brother. That was a great run you had tonight, my man.
Thanks, man.
All right, now, the guy who probably saw the most action out on the track, Doge with a huge rebound. You qualified 2nd. We had a crappy TV angle. Next thing we know, you're flying off into the gravel. You're all the way back in 15th, and then race your ass off to grab that final podium spot, brother. I know you have to be frustrated on what happened there in Turn 1, but how are you feeling about that performance tonight?
I'm very happy. I just kind of went off the track, and I just got back on the track, and I was like, screw it, I'm going to give it hell. And then all of a sudden, everybody just started running off the track.
Normally, that's the hardest part, too. It's one thing to have speed on people, but if you got a whole field of guys having issues in front of you, it's easy to get collected up in it. But you stayed patient, you picked your spots, man, and really it was a great, masterful job tonight. And we only saw the one slip on you with that second to last lap there in turn 2. You were trying to push it to see if you can catch up to RPG a little bit and put her in the gravel, but kept her going.
Yeah, the car got a little bit loose, and I had a big enough gap to K-Dog, and I didn't want to spin it and lose even more time, so I just straightened it out and went straight into the gravel.
But actually, in the end, though, that was the smart play. Like you said, you know, it was a long shot to try to get second, but the main thing was not to give up third, and that's what you did. So not only was it a great rebound and a podium, great points finish for you as well. You were sitting, I believe, 17 back to start this race. So it's going to be a gaggle up front now, and you're part of it, my man.
Feels good.
So I was about to say, so after 5 races, man, like, what's your expectation now? Like, because I know you were wanting to flirt with top 5 this season. You're going to put a little bit more pressure on yourself. There's 7 races to go now, and you're in the thick of it. Can you keep it going?
I'm going to flirt with top 3. How about that?
There you go. All right, my man. Well, Doge, congratulations, buddy. That was a hard-fought and well-earned podium you had tonight, my man.
Thank you.
All right, Twitchland, there you go. Your podium tonight. Your race winner, Dossie. Runner-up in RPG. In 3rd place, Doge. Gentlemen, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for hosting as usual.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Congrats, guys.